Denis Diderot, born in 1713, was a French philosopher and writer, and an important figure in the Enlightenment. One of his better-known works, Rameau's Nephew, features the narrator, known only as I, but probably meant to represent Diderot himself, having a long conversation with the nephew of famous composer Jean-Philippe Rameau. They talk about lots of things: class and power, wisdom, philosophy. One of the most important things about Diderot is that... Hey, man. Hey? I'm actually filming a video right now, so if you could... Do you mind if I close this? I'm sorry, who are you? I'm the nephew. Rameau's nephew. Are you sure? Because you look exactly like me. Don't worry about that right now. All right, so what should I worry about? Have you ever been in love? Sorry? Have you ever been in love? I'd like to think so. Why? Why? Why would you like to think so? What do you mean, why? Because if I haven't been in love, I've been lying to myself and the people closest to me. Because if I haven't been in love, the majority of the relationships in my life have been predicated on falsehood. And why does that matter? As long as you're enjoying yourself, why does the intrinsic truth of a situation have any bearing on you as a person? What the fuck are you talking about? This isn't what your book is about. You're supposed to talk about class divides and how poor artists will always have to sell out or swindle people because they'll always be unappreciated in their time. Where's this love shit coming from? Could you not smoke in here? It's just that this is my bedroom, and if you smoke in here, it's gonna smell for like the next 20 years, and also smoking is really bad for your health, and I'm still not entirely convinced that you're not me, so I just like appreciate it, you know? Thanks. Do you know what I used to do for a living? You'd seduce women, right? Close. I'd convince women to be seduced by other men, delivering love letters, getting her to spend more time with him. You'd know all of this if you'd actually read my book. I did read your book. Of course. But what does any of that have to do with love? Well, do you think I ever loved any of those women? Or that they ever loved the men I set them up with? I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to say. And it doesn't matter. I still thoroughly enjoyed myself, and more importantly, I got paid. Hell, some of those girls might have even loved me, and you don't see me losing sleep over it. Drink wine, blow yourself out with luscious food, have a tumble with lovely women, lie on soft beds. Apart from that, the rest is vanity. Yeah, I know, I said I read the book. So then why are we even having this conversation? I don't know. You barged into my room. I was doing a book report for class. Come on, don't be stupid. You know why I'm here. No, really, I don't. Please enlighten me. Are you happy? Are you happy? No. What? You think the answer is hedonism? Just seek out pleasure and that's it? That seems incredibly short-sighted. Who cares if it's short-sighted? It works. You focus on the now and you let the future figure itself out until it becomes the now. Right. Look, you're a theater nerd, right? Have you seen Wicked? Yeah. So, dance through life. Fiyero gets it. Life is fraughtless when you're thoughtless. Both excellent advice and a marvelous rhyme. Stephen Schwartz really knows what he's doing. But the whole point of that arc in Wicked is that Fiyero was wrong. He meets Elphaba and realizes the error of his ways, and then, only then is he truly happy. In As Long As You're Mine, they both sing about making up for lost time. He's not happy without her, and he realizes it. Yeah, and what does his sacrifice get him? He's attacked by an angry mob and turned into a scarecrow. But he ends up with Elphaba, and they run away together. He gets the happy ending, something he'd never have gotten if he just pursued the shallow pleasures in life. You know, in the book, it's never actually confirmed that Fiyero is the scarecrow, it's just conjecture. Also, Elphaba burns to death, full stop. Who cares though? We're using it as a metaphor. The message of the original text doesn't matter if what we're talking about is the subtext of the musical. The message of the original text doesn't matter. Really? Okay, fine, I got a little off track. But my point stands. Worrying about the future is pointless. Worrying about other people is vanity. The best thing that you or anyone can ever do is do the thing that makes them the most happy in that moment. Okay, maybe. Whatever. What does any of this have to do with being in love? You know, the Greeks had 4 words for love, each with their own distinct meaning. That number is debatable, but sure. There was philia, or affectionate love. That's the love between friends, and it's not really what we're talking about here, so we can ignore that. There was eros, or erotic love. In the Symposium and Phaedrus, Socrates says that eros allows us a true glimpse of divine beauty. Isn't that sweet? Is there a point here somewhere? I'm getting there. There was agape, or spiritual love. This is most commonly used by Christians to describe the love that God feels towards mankind, so again, we can basically ignore it. Right, so what we call love is closest to eros, right? You're asking me if I've ever been in love, if I've ever truly seen divine beauty? You think if you can get me to doubt myself, you'll somehow win this argument? I'm not done. There was mania, obsessive love. Mania stems from a lack of self-worth, and the lover often uses reciprocation as the only source of boosting their self-esteem. Manic lovers want to be loved so they can have self-worth. So tell me again, why is it so important to you that you're in love? What do you want from me? I want you to admit that the only reason you're so desperate to believe that you're in love is because you don't think you're worth anything without it. That you might say that you believe that love is about something greater than yourself, about perceiving true beauty, but really you're just clinging to anything and everything that keeps you in the moment. That's not true. Isn't it? No, I'm not just saying I'm in love out of some need for a sense of self-value. I don't know if I've glimpsed the perfect world of forms, but I know I'm not being inherently selfish. There has to be some middle ground. No! There is no middle ground. Either you're not in love, you've never been in love, and all of your relationships have just been about pleasure, or you are in love, and that love is just a defense mechanism to make you feel good about yourself. Love isn't selfless, just like everything else, and to presume that you can do anything to help anyone other than yourself is vanity and arrogance. I'm not worthless. Exactly! Because you've convinced yourself so thoroughly that you're in love, and that your value comes from that love, and from being loved in return, you're just doing exactly the same thing as me, seeking pleasure at all costs. You've just added some stupid hoops to jump through. So why am I still not happy? You know what I think? I don't think you're really the nephew. Not Diderot's nephew, anyway. Because I think there's a reason you look like me, and you talk like me, and you barge into my room and ask a bunch of invasive questions without adding anything to the conversation. Because you know what? You haven't said anything that I don't already think. You haven't contributed anything new. And I think it's because you're me. Or at least a part of me. Sure, you're more cynical, more blunt about how you feel, but you're adding nothing to this. It's not a conversation. You're wasting my fucking time. Of course I'm just you. Of course I'm not Diderot's nephew. I'm yours. That's how these fucking dialogues work. You think Diderot sat down with Jean-François Rameau at a table and they just took turns writing each other's lines? No, Diderot wrote the whole thing. You think Socrates and Plato tag-teamed the symposium? Socrates was fucking dead, you moron. Of course I'm not adding anything to the conversation, but neither were Socrates and Gorgias, or D'Alembert and Diderot, or any of the other people you read in any book with more than one character. That's not the point. Then what is the point? To just go around in circles and make me miserable? They're the point. This is the point. And when you read Plato, you're the point. Sure, I'm not adding anything completely new to the conversation, but I'm forcing you to vocalize and think about other points of view and then consider how to respond to them. And then when this video goes out, there'll be an audience, and this will be an honest-to-God dialogue. The audience, the readers, are just as important to the conversation as we are, just like we're just as important to the conversation as Plato is, because we're taking his work and thinking about it and expanding and adding to the conversation. Sure, maybe I'm not real, but this is a legitimate, real dialogue. I don't know. This is getting pretty meta. Hey man, you wrote it. But why, though? If I'm still unhappy, I still don't know if I've ever been in love or not. The only thing I've really learned is that my personified self-doubt wears a leather jacket. That's life. Could you please not? Especially because you're just me in a costume? I'd really rather not get
You know, maybe if you went outside for
addiction,
once, you wouldn't make these stupid videos.
You can do it.